and welcome to my channel. If you are brand new and finding me for the first time, I'm Lise and I enjoy talking about my Sisterlocks journey. So I hope that you find it interesting and useful and that my videos provide some insight into my journey. I am based in the UK, I live in the South, and I am a mother, wife, working person, just busy person like everybody else, and Sisterlocks have totally helped give me time back, freedom, and just giving me back a freedom and a real just a sense of pride, if you like, in our hair. So if you're joining me for the first time, that's the kind of thing I talk about. And if you are a return subscriber, thank you so much for your continued interest and support and encouragement and conversation. I love all of that. I am further in my journey now, and I'm not as excited and participative as I was when I first started, but I really enjoy that excitement in others. I really enjoy being on this journey and talking to people. So that's really what my channel's about. And I am approaching 3 years, so I'm filming this at the end of November 2022, and I got my Sisterlocks in end of December 2019. Yeah, just before the pandemic. So I am just shy of 3 years. Yeah, my daughter is at 3 years. So my daughter was at 3 years in September. My daughter's going to be 8 this week. So she was at 3 years. And we're loving the journey. We are really enjoying the journey. We just got back from Morocco, and that's what prompted me to do this video. I've been off and had a retie since then. Got back in the early hours, woke up, went and had a retie, and whilst I was in Morocco, and my daughter was in the sea and she was in the swimming pool, sometimes with her swimming cap, sometimes not. I sat there and I thought, hallelujah, amen, give God thanks. I am so grateful that it's not going to be any problem that she's in the sea and she's in the swimming pool. We will wash it out and we'll shampoo it and she will go. She will have that freedom that the little white girls at school used to have when I was at school, and they would go swimming and it wouldn't be a problem. Whereas for us, it was a whole industry thereafter just to get your hair back, because if that swimming cap didn't do its job, which, let's be honest, none of them ever did their job, I don't know what their job was, you were dealing with a lot of things thereafter as a child. Your mum was going through things, trying to deal with your hair, and you as well. And it's just, when you've got braids and stuff, you don't wash your hair in braids, do you, and all of that. Whereas with locks, you just deal with it one time, especially Sisterlocks, because they're interlocked. So it's not like anything's unraveling. There's, it's not a problem. You can live an active life. And so whilst we were out there in Morocco, I was just like, I love this life. I remember that friends and stuff who've got children, young girls now, and they don't have locks, before you go on holiday, it's a whole ordeal, isn't it, to go and get your hair in a certain style for the holiday, and then you don't really want your hair to get wet. We never want our hair to get wet, whereas I am like, I'm here for it to get wet. I still have to band and braid, but the moisture's okay. It's absolutely fine. And listen, you have to go through it to understand how good it feels to be at the other end of that. So I was sat in Morocco looking at my daughter living her life, and just grateful to God that she will never know the challenges that I went through as a young person, the challenges that so many of us go through, because our hair can just take over if you allow it to. It's work. It's work. Natural hair is work. Even relaxed hair was work. So yeah, that's why I'm here. I wanted to just share that update. And going on holiday is lovely. So literally, rose water. That's what I use in my daughter's hair, whether we're here or away. My hair's more accepting of it now. My daughter's is perfectly fine with it. I use this on my daughter's hair probably a couple of times, 3 times a week. I don't use it several times a day or anything like that. There's no need. And I put it on her scalp as well as her locks. Same for me. I use this in my hair probably once every 7 to 8 days, and I use it a lot more after a retie because my hair is dry. So I tend to go for my scalp, but I will also put it on my locks after a retie. and it's fairly inoffensive. I'm not heavy-handed with this because I think it can make your hair quite crunchy. So when I say I'm not heavy-handed, I don't use it a lot. But also my hair doesn't need it a lot, and neither does my daughter's, really, to be honest with you. I also use argan oil. This is just a bottle that I use to take on holiday. But argan oil, Morocco is known for its argan oil. That's where the tree is, and I really like it. Very light oil. So every 7 days or so, I will massage this into my daughter's scalp. I'll moisturize it with the rose water, and then I'll put some of this on her scalp. And I'm not religious about it. It depends on how her hair is. So I won't put it in for the sake of it. I'm not in a routine where it's like, it's 7 days, I need to put this on her scalp. It's only if it needs it. And ordinarily I'll do it after I've washed her hair. And I wash my daughter's hair every 2 weeks. Sometimes that slips, which I really don't like, because her hair behaves differently when it's washed. Same as mine. Our hair really enjoys being washed. Yeah, it becomes much lighter, you know, it just, the hair colour changes, the whole healthy is just good for us, good for our scalps. So I wash my daughter's hair every 2 weeks, and I probably wash mine about the same now. Maybe sometimes a bit longer with mine, to be honest with you. But my daughter does swimming and gymnastics, and she's quite active, so I make sure I stay on top of keeping hers clean. But yeah, so we're on a regular kind of schedule. Her scalp's healthy, it doesn't smell, there's no, you know, it's not flaky or anything like mine has been. It's more to keep it clean because she's at school mixing with people. And I don't wrap her locks up. She likes her locks out a lot as well. So I don't, you know, it's not covered or away. So that's why I like to keep on top of keeping her hair clean. And then, you know, I talked about washing it. For us, it's really simple. So we absolutely love the Almocado brand. And this is the stage 1 shampoo. This is the peppermint tea. I still use this. So I use tea gel on my scalp, and then I'll use this in my actual hair. And I like the seaweed one. I like this one as well, but I like the seaweed one. And I use it in my hair. So I'll use the tea gel on my scalp. Obviously, it gets into your hair. But I always follow up with the Almocado in my hair afterwards, because I find it cleansing, gentle, but nourishing. It's not harsh, so you don't feel like your hair's completely stripped, and that matters. It matters in the UK, because there isn't the moisture that there was in Morocco. We were right by the sea, and you could just feel the moisture in the air, on your skin, you know, on your hair. But we don't really have it like that in the UK. It can be quite dry. So I like that on my hair. And then for my daughter, I use the stage 2 Almocado. This is quite conditioning and nourishing. So I use that on my daughters. Sometimes I'll wash it first of all with the stage 1, and then I'll go in with the stage 2 for her. And then just rinse out thoroughly, and it keeps her hair nice and, I don't know how to describe it. It's just nice and shiny and clean. And I mean, the Almocado products, if you haven't used them, they smell divine. They smell divine. They do what they're supposed to do, I think. So that's what we use on our locks, and that's it. That's how it's been all the way. We are really simple in terms of, you know, looking after our locks. We don't complicate it. Not product junkies. Not really interested. I don't use mousses or anything like that. Yeah, I just keep it really simple. My scalp is in much better condition. If you've watched any of my earlier videos, you'll see that I've had challenges with my scalp, but everything's running tickety-boo. And I guess for me, at 3 years, I've noticed that initially rose water was not for me. Rose water did nothing special for me. I was like, what's everyone going on about? But actually, over time, my hair's become more accepting of rose water. I do like aloe juice, so I will use, you know, aloe juice water and some essential oils occasionally. I've got a concoction like that, and I kind of prefer that for me to the rose water. But I'm not precious, you know. I just keep it simple. There really isn't a need to do an awful lot. I've still got curly ends. Some of them have sealed, more towards the back of my hair. Some of them have sealed, but still got curly ends. Got locks of different shapes and sizes, and I've just accepted it. wanted that manicured look when I first started, and grew to just accept and love my hair and the fact that I don't have to comb it or bother with it or do anything. I could just live my life, and that's what I want. I want to live my life. I don't want to be sitting playing with hair. So I'm grateful for that. That's it. Journey's going well, but even better when you're on holiday and you can just be free. And that's why I wanted to do the video. I hope you're well. I hope life is treating you well. Lots going on in the world, but I hope that for you, things are great. And if not, I pray that that comes soon. And I bid you farewell. Take care.